So I put a little sunscreen right here on his nosy gabozy, and then I just wipe it off at the end of the day.
I'm Dave Donenfeld, that's Justin Silver, this is Pacino, and today we're gonna give you some grooming tips.
Right. I personally like when Dave wears his hair a little bit shorter on the side and then longer on the top. Pacino, this is pretty much all he can do with this styling. It's really important to brush and groom your dogs regularly. When you brush them, it's a great time to check for ticks. It's also a way that you can bond with your dogs, and it gets them used to being handled.
And that's important because dogs are gonna get handled by vets, by groomers, and a litany of people, so it's important that they get started early.
Dogs are gonna have to have their nails clipped. You can send your dog to a groomer to clip their nails, but if you're gonna do it yourself, I'm gonna show you a great way to do it that's kind of painless and not that invasive for dogs, because most dogs hate this. There's all different types of nail clippers out there. There's the time that are just shears that cut their nails off. Then there's these, which are a little grinder. They have a safety around the outside of the grinder so that it can't get too close to the dog's nail, although you have to be careful. Dogs have something called a quick inside their nail. That's the part of the nail that's actually alive and has nerves on it. So you want to make sure that you don't cut too close to the quick. Now, I'm going to show you how I do this. Treats are of course involved because I want to keep Pacino distracted and desensitized while I go in for touching his nails. I just give him some treats and just lightly touch on the nails and just grind it down just a little bit. So that's a really non-invasive way to do their nails that they don't mind too much.
So Justin, those are some great tips. Nice mani-pedi, by the way.
Thank you.
What are you doing for these guys' teeth?
So there's a lot of different ways to brush your dog's teeth. I personally like to brush my dog's teeth with an actual toothbrush, but a lot of dogs are sensitive to that. So they make these great products out there. These are dental wipes. I like these because they taste good for the dogs. They're a little pad like this that's full of moisture. They have an abrasive quality to them, and they have natural products that clean the dog's teeth. So you can just lift their gums up and get in here around the backs, the incisors, around the canine, massage the gums, and you can see this guy doesn't mind it at all. Dental hygiene is so important because there's so much bacteria in dogs' mouths that can really get them in trouble if you don't clean them regularly. So you really want to not neglect your dog's teeth. Take really good care of them. Right, buddy? Another thing I want to mention is just a simple way to keep dogs nice and clean. Natural pet wipes. These are great. Dogs run around, they play, they get messy, they get dirty, they get food on their mouths, they get stuff that you don't want in your house, they get stuff you don't want in your carpet, and you get stuff that you don't want them to ingest. For example,
Salt. If you live in colder climates, when they put salt down on the street, that's borderline toxic to dogs. It can hurt their paws, and not only that, it's the last thing you want is them licking it.
right, so when the dogs get back into the house, you can take some of these grooming wipes, and it's a simple way to just wipe their paws off. Get any toxins or anything that's really messy that you don't want in their mouths, in their body, or on your carpet. This is also great for cleaning dogs' ears. Dogs' ears get really dirty, and because of the nature of how their ears flop over, a lot of wax and dirt can stay lodged in them. There's also lots of little nooks and crannies in there. So you want to just get in here with your finger and just gently massage, and you can see by the look on Pacino's face, it feels really good. They enjoy this. Another great way to use these wipes is on dog's face.
What is this, like a spa treatment today?
This is like a spa treatment.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right,
I go
that's good.
next.
You go next. I happen to put sunscreen on Pacino's face, on his nose.
You use sunscreen on?
I use sunscreen on him.
What SPF?
50.
So sometimes when dogs are red on the nose, that's sunburn?
Yeah, they're susceptible to sunburn the same way we're susceptible to sunburn. So I put a little sunscreen right here on his nosy gabozy, and then I just wipe it off at the end of the day. This is good for cleaning around their eyes. Sometimes when you give dogs baths, the one thing that they don't like is the water splashing in their face, so this is a great way to just clean their face, keep it nice and clean. Also, wipes are typically used for the body part that people use wipes for. So sometimes if you have long-haired dogs and they eliminate and it's not all the way eliminated, it gets tangled in their hair, you can use these on the rear end. Keep them nice and clean.
So those are your grooming tips. Dogs need to get their teeth brushed, they can get their hair brushed, they need their nails taken care of, their faces wiped, and even their ears worked on a little bit. So it's really important to get your dog used to being handled. And those are our grooming tips. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned something.
We will see you next time.
What he said.